You know those moments when you're browsing online for a scrumptious recipe and you come across a search result that just calls to you? Yum. It's got an appetizing image, star ratings, and even preparation time all neatly presented so that you will click on it. And if you ask, hey Google, find me the best Oreo cheesecake recipe.
Alright, I've got a recipe called No Bake Oreo Cheesecake from Livewell Bake Oven. This recipe serves 10 and takes about 4 hours and 25 minutes to make. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Great. Would you like to start with ingredients or instructions?
Instructions.
There are 10 steps. I'll read them one by one. When you're ready to hear.
So that's an example of a guided recipe, and your recipe can be heard on Google Home and smart displays. That's the magic of the Recipe Schema, and in this video, we will show you how to add a Recipe Schema markup to your delicious recipe page. Let's go! Hey, it's Jack from RankMath, the one WordPress SEO plugin that constantly strives to provide you with the fastest and the most cutting-edge SEO tools. And on this channel, we provide you with the most up-to-date SEO knowledge to help you grow your search traffic. So if you are new to our channel, consider subscribing. Now, if you run a food blog, one of the most fundamental SEO features you need is the Recipe Schema. Just Google any recipe-related keywords like fluffy pancake recipe, and you will see all the top results with these rich snippets like the star rating, cooking time, etc. You will hardly see any sites that do not have a recipe schema ranking at the top, so you are losing out on the battle if you run a food blog without a recipe schema, so it is a must-have. And that's where, if you are a WordPress user, RankMath provides this feature to you for free. All you have to do is to go to your RankMath's dashboard, look for the schema structured data module, and toggle it on. Once you have done that, visit any page or post. On RankMaths tab, you will see the schema options here. If the module wasn't turned on, you will not see this option. Click on the schema generator and you will see the recipe schema here. If you are using Elementor, you can find the recipe schema on the SEO tab, select the schema option, and in the schema generator right here. Now, if you have the free version of RankMath, you can only add one schema type per post or page. Like currently we have the article schema added, and if we choose to use the recipe schema, it will replace the article schema. Having multiple schema types on your post or page gives more context to search engines so they will understand your content a lot better. So we recommend having the pro version of RankMath installed. If you don't have the pro version yet, go to our site and get it. But either way, free or pro version, the recipe schema still works for you, just as some of the schema fields are not available in the free version. We'll discuss what they are in a while, but the really important ones are available for free. Now let's talk about the things you need to know from the Google's recipe schema guidelines. Now this is the recipe schema documentation from Google. If you want to check this out, we have left a link to this page in the description. As it explains, the recipe schema is helpful for your recipe page to be displayed on a Google search, right at the top of the featured recipe grid and Google Images. And there are further recipe enhancements such as the guided recipes and the recipe host carousel. Now, the guided recipes allow your recipe page to reach people who use Google Home and smart displays, like what I have demonstrated at the start of the video. If you want your recipe page to be eligible for guided recipes, you will need the recipe ingredient and the recipe instructions schema. And if you have a video property on your page, it needs a content URL schema. Don't worry, as I walk you through our recipe schema fields, you will have a clear understanding of how your recipe can be eligible for it. But what you need to note is that to appear on Google searches, the recipe schema or structured data needs to be applied to a particular dish. Facial scrub or party ideas are not valid names for a dish. Basically, if it is not food or drinks that can be consumed, do not use the recipe schema. And then your recipes should be categorized properly. For example, salad recipes, chicken recipes, dessert recipes, etc. Use the post categories or tags on your WordPress site to properly manage your recipes. Alright, now that you know the basic guidelines, let me walk you through our recipe schema so that you can easily adhere to all the remaining guidelines. So this is the No Bake Oreo Cheesecake recipe page that I have, and this is its WordPress backend. I'll go to RankMaths tab, select the Schema tab, Schema Generator, and use the Recipe Schema. Let's start with the headline field. This is basically the name of the dish, and there is no restriction if you want to optimize it for keywords. For example, easy no-bake Oreo cheesecake recipe by Smokehouse. This is a required field, as it is marked with the red asterisk. The other required field that is not shown on this recipe schema is the featured image of your recipe page. Let's save this schema for this post, and on a page settings, you definitely need to add a featured image for your recipe page. Otherwise, your page will not pass the rich results test, which we'll talk about in a while. Now back to the recipe schema. If you leave the headline field empty, this SEO title variable takes information from the general tab, edit snippets, and whatever there is in this title field. This title variable will take information from the post or page title. So if the title snippet is what you want on the headline field, maybe we can remove this separator and the site name, which are these variables. And now if this is what you want on the headline field, you can leave this field empty. But I want to customize it. Next, let's skip this review location and shortcode towards the end of the video, as I want to show you what schema information can be displayed on your site if you wish to. Let's go to the description field in the meantime. This is where you will provide a short summary describing the dish you are making. If you leave this field empty, this SEO description variable will take information from the description field in edit snippets. If this field describes your dish well, which I think this is good enough, you can leave the description field in the recipe schema empty. The trick is to add the keyword you are trying to rank for in the description. Let's go back to the recipe schema. Next, we have the preparation time, the cooking time, and total time. These fields should be used together. Most of the dishes I know of require both the prepping time and cooking time. And I challenge you to let us know if there are any dishes that require only prepping time or only cooking time. Let us know in the comments. Anyway, these three fields accept the ISO 8601 time format. Sounds complicated, but it is fairly simple. It starts with PT. If our Oreo cheesecake requires 25 minutes for prepping, we will add 25M right after PT, where M stands for minutes. And since this recipe does not have cooking time, but instead it is chilling time to make the cake harden, we can use the cooking time field. If it takes 4 hours to chill, it will be PT4H, where H stands for hour. And the total time will be 4 hours and 25 minutes. And hence the total time field will be PT4H25M. Next, the dish type is basically the category the dish belongs to. For example, appetizer, dessert, main dish, dinner, breakfast, brunch, entree, etc. Anything you add to this field will be marked up for the recipe category schema. Next, back to the recipe schema. The cuisine schema field is straightforward. For example, French, Indian, Ethiopian, American, Greek, Chinese, etc. Take your pick. Now, cheesecake originated from ancient Greece, but Oreo is originated from America. So I would say Oreo cheesecake is an American cuisine. For keywords, you should include those you want your recipe to rank for, but it has to be closely related to your recipe. For example, homemade no-bake Oreo cheesecake. To add another keyword, separate it with a comma. Then no-bake Oreo cheesecake recipe with condensed milk, best Oreo cheesecake recipe, simple Oreo cheesecake recipe, chocolate Oreo cheesecake recipe. You get the idea. As long as it makes sense to your recipe page, feel free to add those keywords in. Do not add keywords that are actually meant for the dish type or cuisine. This is a guideline from Google's recipe schema documentation. Let's head back. Now the recipe yield. This simply means the quantity your recipe produces. For example, 10. Now in some other cooking recipes like a pasta recipe, it could be 4 servings. Or for a cookie recipe, it could be 24 cookies. For our case, it is going to be 10. Now if you decide to add calories, this figure will be the calories per serving. And if you have defined calories in this field, you've got to add information on this recipe yield field. Otherwise, this calories figure will be vague. For our case, the Oreo cheesecake is 600 calories per slice. Next, we have the recipe ingredients. This is a section that is required if you want your recipe to be eligible for the guided recipes, together with the recipe instructions which we'll be talking about in a while. So this recipe ingredients is important. For every ingredient, you want to add a new property. Let's say we need 40 Oreos. We also need 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 16 ounces brick-style cream cheese, 1 cup powdered sugar, 3/4 teaspoon vanilla extract. You get the idea. This is not the complete recipe and this is not a cooking channel. So if the recipe is not good, don't contact us. We won't try what you make, just so you know. Next, we have the review schema. Now, this is specifically for foodies, critics, third parties reviewing recipes of others. This is not meant for reviewing your own recipe. If you want others to review your recipe, feel free to use your favorite star rating plugin in conjunction with RankMath schema to collect the aggregate rating. Anyway, back to the recipe schema. If you have RankMath Pro installed, you will see the pros and cons schema fields. And similar to the review schema above, this is meant for third-party reviews and not for you to use on your own recipe. And if you want to know how to use the pros and cons schema fields, check out this video right here. Now, if you have recorded the process of making the dish into a video, this video schema fields is going to be helpful to you. This will be the name of your video. It could be the same name as your page title, or same as the headline of the recipe schema. Best is to optimize your video name for a main keyword you wish your recipe to rank for. Then the description of the video, it can be the same description you have added earlier for the recipe description. Then the video URL and the content URL. The main difference between these two fields is that the video URL is meant for videos that are hosted on third-party video hosting platforms such as YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, etc. On the video platform, you can easily grab the embed link of your video if you have hosted it there. And for the content URL, it is meant for videos that are hosted with the supported encoding formats like .mp4, .mov, etc. These are usually videos hosted directly on your site. As you can see here, if I click on this video, this will be the link. Let me copy it, head back to the recipe schema and paste the URL. You will notice that at the end of this URL, you will see the encoding format. Now, as we have said earlier, one of the requirements to be eligible for guided recipes is when you have a video property, you will need the content URL data, not the video URL data. If you view the guidelines from Google, it says don't link to a page where the video lives. For example, YouTube or Vimeo. This must be the URL of the video media file itself. So this implies that Google wants your recipe videos to be hosted directly on your site, or the subdomain, or on a video hosting platform that provides you with a direct media file link. Some of the popular recipe sites have videos hosted directly on their site. However, we have seen cases where YouTube embed links are used in the content URL field, and a guided recipe still works for the recipe page. So we would say the best option is to host your recipe videos directly on your site or on a subdomain to get a media file link. And if that is not an option, then add the embed link on the content URL field. For the recipe video thumbnail, if you have created one for your video, upload it to your site, then in the media library, click on it, copy the file URL, and paste it on the field. Next, this is for the duration of the video. This field accepts the same time format as the prep and cooking time. The video I've uploaded is 2 minutes and 57 seconds, so it will start with PT 2M 57S, where S stands for seconds. For the video upload date, it is straightforward. It is the day you have uploaded the video, either on the video hosting platform or on your site. Next is one of the most important fields, which is the recipe instructions. And as we have mentioned a couple of times already, it is a requirement to be eligible for the guided recipes. There are two ways you can include the recipe instructions. Both options are available for the free version of RankMath, but the Pro version includes the name, URL, and image URL within the instruction text, which gives more context to the search engines. Now, if we look at Google's recipe guidance, they recommend using the how-to step option. So depending on the recipe you're working on, if it requires many steps to prepare and cook the dish, the how-to step option will be more favorable. If you choose the single field option, Google says it will attempt to automatically split the single block of text into individual steps. It will try to remove any section names, step numbers, keywords, or anything else that can incorrectly appear in the recipe step text. So let's work out an example. Let's say that this is the recipe instructions for the Oreo cheesecake. For every step, we will try to condense it into a short descriptive sentence and end it with a full stop. Do not include text like step 1, step 2, and do not include text like watch the video or follow the instructions from. Every step you include in this text field must help the user achieve the final product. Anything other than that, do not include in this field. It is a hit or miss using this option, so Google recommends using the how-to step instead. You need to click on Add Property Group and you can interpret instructions 1 as step 1 for your recipe. For the Oreo cheesecake, there are two main steps. One is to make the crust for the cake base, and the other is to make the filling. So for the name of the first instruction, it should describe the end goal for this step, which can be making the cake crust. And then we will add instruction text by clicking on the add property group next to it, and you will see those fields we have mentioned earlier. There are two steps to making the cake crust. First, you have to grind the Oreo into fine crumbs. Then you have to layer the base on the pan. So on this text field, I will add Oreos to a food processor to get fine Oreo crumbs, then mix the crumbs with melted butter and mix till moistened. The name of this step is to make Oreo crumbs for the cake base. For this URL, let's say that you have added a table of contents for your recipe. This is the step we are working on. And if you notice, as I hover to this step, as I click on the link, it will bring you to the step you are describing. But we need the link. So hover to it, check out the link that is appearing here. That's what we need. Let's copy the link address, head back to the recipe schema, and paste the link here. That's what this URL field is asking for. Now, if you don't have a table of contents feature on your site, you do not need to explicitly install a separate plugin just for this purpose. RankMath has a table of contents feature for you, even if you are using the free version. The table of contents you saw a while ago is from RankMath. So if you want to find out more about RankMath's table of contents, you can check out this video right here. The link is in the description. Anyway, the image URL. It makes perfect sense to add an image that shows the end product of the step. So we want to copy the image URL and paste it here. Then step number 2 is still for the cake base. So we want to add the property group within the instructions 1 because we have not touched the fillings yet. If we are talking about fillings, we can click on this add property group instead, which is out of this instruction 1's group. So let's click on this. This description text, line the bottom of a 9-inch springform pan with parchment paper and scoop the mixture into the pan to create a bottom layer of the cake crust. Chill the cake crust layer in the refrigerator while you make the cheesecake filling. The name that describes this step will be layering the Oreo crumbs as the cake base. Similarly, you want to copy the URL that links to this step and paste it here, and the image URL that describes this step. And we are done with the first set of instructions. Step 2 is to make the cake filling. So out of the first group, we will create the second group of instructions. And you can see this is instructions 1 and we have instructions 2 here. The name that describes the end goal of this step is making the Oreo cheesecake fillings. And you want to add detailed steps, filling in all the schema fields to make the whole recipe complete. You get the idea. I will not waste your time adding every step because my wife is making that Oreo cheesecake and it's going to be ready soon. So I want to quickly complete this video and go eat my cheesecake. Now the final schema field we have not discussed is the review location and the shortcode. If you want to display all these recipe schema information on a page, just copy the shortcode and let's say that I want to add it right below the image. As you update the page, visit the post, and you will see the schema information right below the image. And you can choose to display this information above the content, below the content, and on both. The choice is yours. And if you don't want to display the schema information, just simply remove it. Simple as that. Now, no schema is complete without testing it because you won't know if it works. You can either search for Google's Rich Results Testing tool and place your page link here, or copy the page source and paste it here. But as a RankMath user, things are much simpler for you. On the Schema tab, you see this eye icon on these schema types. Click on either one of them, and this is the schema markup of your entire page. Click on Test with Google, and the schema markup of the page will be copied over to this tool. This helps you skip a couple of steps. So convenient, right? Let's test it. And you will see we have passed the recipes and guided recipes schema. For the non-critical issue, it is the aggregate rating because we have not allowed site visitors to rate the recipe. Alright, if you're writing a blog post that lists many different recipes, for example 40 best salad recipes, do you know you can use the recipe schema as well? If you Google best salad recipes, you will see results that are not single recipe pages. They are blog posts that list 50, 40, 104 salad recipes. But how does that work? Do you add one recipe schema per recipe? No. For some of the pages, for example, a couple cooks, out of all the salad recipes listed on this page, as you can see there are so many of them, at the bottom of the page, they will add what they think is the best salad recipe out of those listed on the page. So all the ingredients and steps are for their best recommended salad, and these are what's added to the recipe schema. And the headline for the recipe schema will be this. So we hope with this video you have a clear understanding of how to use the recipe schema, and hopefully your recipe will be featured on both the search results and the guided recipes for Google Home and smart devices. Anyway, if you find this video helpful, do smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel for more SEO knowledge. This is Jack from Rank Math. Gonna eat my cheesecake now. See ya.